Medical. Hey, take it easy, Jacob.
I am going to ruin wrestling. Jeez, you guys know I don't want to ruin wrestling. I love wrestling.
Today we're talking inconsistencies, plot holes, and drop storylines of WWE lately. And I'm not even going to talk about the usual suspects of Pat McAfee's involvement in the WrestleMania main event.
I'm the one on the phone.
John Cena's heel turn that literally had no reason whatsoever, or the fact that we even fired Kairi Sane in the middle of a storyline. No, we're going to talk about things like Jacob Fatu. Didn't he get his teeth kicked in? Nobody was ever caught for that. He blamed Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre was like, no, that wasn't me. And of all Drew McIntyre's faults, he's not a liar. Or what about the fact that Jey Uso was in the Elimination Chamber for a shot at the main event of WrestleMania 42, and then he was taken out. And he was taken out the day before Elimination Chamber, and he didn't even care. He never followed up. Nobody was ever brought to justice for that, and Jey Uso just doesn't care. So those are the things we're talking about today after I shout out Devontae at the Apple Store. Boys and gals, the coolest thing happened to me, Wrestle Chop, today. Like, totally made my day, my year, my everything. I'm going to tell the story at the end of this video if anybody wants to stick around and hear, like, for real, the coolest thing. The coolest thing happened. All right, let's talk the belt giveaway, then we'll talk plot holes. If you want to win this belt on my shoulder, all you got to do is comment below, subscribe to the channel, and you can win at 30,000 subscribers on my quest to quit my day job. You can win. It's not a toy. It's a replica, and it's actually Devontae's favorite belt. Let's get back to Jacob Fatu and the fact that his feud with Roman Reigns really makes no sense. Now, hear me out. I'm actually enjoying the feud. I really am. But if you break it down, there's no reason for him to have chosen Roman over Cody Rhodes. For one, Cody and Jacob were having a feud at the beginning of the year that no one actually got the pin on. Nobody won that feud. They were at such each other's throat that the match couldn't even start. And yet, at the first opportunity, Jacob decides to go after his family, Roman Reigns, and Jacob is a SmackDown star. That makes no sense. It really doesn't. He doesn't even want to be tribal chief. Like, at least then, if he wanted to be tribal chief, then you could understand why he chose Roman after Cody. But they made a point to say, no, it's just about money. So then go after Cody Rhodes. You already have beef with the guy. And a disclaimer, I got this idea from Haven Rain. She does not know who I am. This is not a collaboration, but you could say that I stole this idea from her if you felt like it. So I want to give her the proper credit. In the description below, you can see a link right there. I'm taking her idea, I'm expounding upon it and adding to it, but the original Genesis, Haven Rain. Back on the subject of Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns though, Roman said to Jacob, I brought you in to WWE. Solo Sikoa can't even get a cup of coffee. But that doesn't make sense because Solo brought in Jacob during a time in which Solo was actively trying to replace Roman as tribal chief. Roman Reigns almost lost complete power. So there's no way Roman would have signed off on Jacob.
You're not the only one with the eyes on that world title.
Where is LA Knight? Last we saw, him and Gunther were talking about how they both won their WrestleMania match, how they both won a world championship match. Then Gunther disappeared and went to SmackDown. But what about LA Knight? What's he doing? Like, why didn't he go to SmackDown and go for a title shot or go after Roman? No, he just, poof, gone. On the subject of Gunther, it makes no sense that he used his favor from Paul Heyman to get a matchup against Cody Rhodes. Because as we saw from Jacob, you can literally just go to the other brand and call your shot. Plus, Cody Rhodes will say, I'm easy to find, hard to beat. Therefore, you just have to walk up to Cody and say, I want a shot at the title. And this is evident in that Royce Keys literally just did this. In his third or fourth match, Royce Keys said, I'm going to sign a contract. And Cody Rhodes was like, yeah, do it, let's go. So Gunther did not have to use his favor from Paul Heyman get to SmackDown to get to Cody Rhodes. And you might say, oh, well, the favor was supposed to be him facing Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Okay, that's fine, whatever, but plans change. Just because plans change don't mean you write a crappy story. You just have Gunther keep that favor in his back pocket. Like, how long did CM Punk have the favor of Paul Heyman in his pocket? I'm thinking about like 4 or 5 months, so Gunther didn't need to use his favor based on the story that we were telling. Where's Randy Orton? I already said we're not going to talk about the Pat McAfee connection, but at the end of his match at WrestleMania 42, he punt kick Cody Rhodes. We have been teasing this punt kick for literally years, and when we finally get it, it's after he lost to Cody Rhodes, and there's no follow-up whatsoever. What was the point of doing a punt kick if Cody Rhodes was just going to show up on Raw the next day? And you might be like, oh, well, I heard reports that Randy's injured. Okay, then say it. Say that he got injured. Something. That punt kick could have been so special, and it was wasted. It was absolutely wasted. I was debating on bringing up the fact that when R-Truth was fired and then rehired, he came back as Ron Killings, cut his hair and everything, and was going to be this serious character, and then slowly but surely just reemerged as R-Truth, crazy zany R-Truth, which is, okay, fine, you know what? We all fell in love with crazy zany R-Truth, so I won't mention that. But I will mention Bayley. Bayley was literally having a schizophrenic episode weekly. She was literally arguing with Hugger Bayley and Damage Control Bayley. Literally, we could hear the voices. Never mind that that's just not possible. The audiences are not telepaths, but you know what? Suspension of disbelief, whatever you want to say. Okay, fine, but what happened? We never had Bayley go to therapy. Couldn't we have had 3 weeks of vignettes of Bayley going to therapy and reconciling these voices in her head? Nope, just drop storyline. Suddenly her and Lyra are just besties. Now this one is the most stolen idea from Haven Rain, but I will expound upon it. It's like, what is the end goal of Finn Balor and the Judgment Day? Like, what is going on here? Finn Balor beat Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. He didn't just beat him at WrestleMania, he beat him with the Demon, the final boss version of Finn Balor. So why is this feud continuing? Then beat JD McDonough the next night on Raw. Dominic doesn't even have a title anymore that Finn Balor is going to fight for. Therefore, why is this even continuing? I'm going to do an honorable mention for Ilja Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes. They're not inconsistent storytelling, but they are bad booking in the fact that those guys every single week had the US Open Challenge and having banger after banger, and then the moment WrestleMania season comes along, it's like take the belt off them and then just throw them off TV. Like, not cool. And the final one is the fact that Otis is the bravest member of the entire WWE roster. Oba Femi, on week 2 of an open challenge, nobody wants to fight the guy. Even though LA Knight is literally looking to make a name for himself and get into championship contendership, not even LA Knight wants to go up against Oba Femi. Otis, the only person willing to accept the challenge, because we are at week number 2 and there is nobody for Oba Femi. Okay, so now let's get to the cool story. So, this totally made my day. This made my year. This is like maybe the greatest thing to ever happen to me on this channel. I go to the Apple store, right? My phone's all busted. Long story short, I'm out like $400. So that sucks, all right? Like, man. And so like, I'm not happy. I get to the store and I'm frustrated. I get told, at 2:10, someone's going to see ya. It's like 2:20. My kids are here. We haven't eaten lunch. I'm like, man, we're going to have to go. Hopefully I can get here tomorrow. As we're about to leave, some dude turns around and says, have you been helped? And I'm like, yeah, I've been helped. I'm supposed to be next and whatever. So he goes, he sees what's happening. And he's like, you're for real going to be next. And he's like, he starts walking away and he's like, by the way, love you, Chop, or something like that. It took me a second to process what he said. Nobody has ever called me Chop in public before. And I'm like, what did you say? And he's like, I love your channel. I'm like, you know who I am? I might be getting some of the details wrong because I was absolutely shocked and just thrown off my game that somebody in public is calling me Chop. Like, nobody has ever recognized me before in public, and here this dude is, Devontae, is like, hi. I was like, what? And my kids are with me. And so my kids, they're like 13 and 12, and they just thought that was the coolest thing also. Like, I was just like, I was completely thrown for a loop. Not gonna lie, I felt kind of cool. I did kind of feel cool. Devontae, you're awesome. Thank you so much for that because, like, totally brightened my day. And then I started replaying in my head. I was like, oh my God, was I a giant jerk? This dude's gonna go on and tell them, yeah, Wrestle Chop, he just seems like a nice guy, but he's really an a-hole. I even asked him, I was like, was I rude? I didn't think I was, but at the same time, I was having such a bad day. And I remember he was like, you are next. And I was like, I don't know if I can stay. I might have to go. And I was just like, oh God, I hope I wasn't a jerk. I hope I didn't sound like a jerk. I didn't mean to be a jerk, but maybe I sounded like a jerk. Maybe I had resting jerk face or something. I'm just like, and the woman who ended up helping me with the phone, well, yeah, she did, like, tell me that I'm out $400 or $300. She was super nice too. She used to be a fan from way back in the day. I told her John Cena was retired, and it felt like I crushed a little piece of her childhood. And I told her, I was like, I know, I cried when he retired, and then my kids laughed at me. Oh my God, this experience was everything. Devontae, he took it even one step further. He comes and he gives me his badge and he said, would you mind signing this for me? I have never signed an autograph before, ever. And I'm flustered. I'm like, do I sign my name? Or do I sign Wrestle Chop? Do I sign just Chop? So I start doing that, but because I'm so flustered, my dyslexia kicks in. I mentioned this before that I am dyslexic, but my dyslexia kicks in. I get the E wrong, and then I do another E. I'm like, oh my God, I just misspelled wrestle. And so I tell him that, and he's like, no, don't worry about it. And it was so cool. I don't know. Even now as I relive it, it's like, you're the first people I'm telling this story to. So it's like, Devontae, like, for real, dude, like, I really appreciate you saying hi to me. Like, if anybody ever sees me out in the real world, please say hi to me because it's I don't know. Maybe I want my head to get as big as Triple H's. And then I'm going to blame you for all my bad videos. No, but for real, Devontae, everybody, I just I cannot describe how good that made me feel, how good it makes me feel when you watch these videos, when you comment, when you thumbs up them, and just everything. Thank you. And that just motivated me to try harder, work harder, grind more, so we can make this into my day job and I can produce more wrestling content for each and every one of you. So, boys, girls, Devontae, see ya bye.